These are the single serve packets. Each of these, there's essentially two different versions, which is what you see up there. And I know some folks had some different questions about this. Our chocolate and vanilla versions have added protein. Our fruit flavors are just the carbohydrate and electrolyte. So everything has 30 grams of the superstarch carbohydrate. So from a carb content standpoint, across the board, whether it has protein or not, you're getting the same thing. So that right there should be a trigger that the Ucan with protein can be used pre-workout and during workout, just the same as the Ucan without protein, because the key to what's giving you the energy is the superstarch. So superstarch is all the same across the board, so you can use any version pre or during. If you're going to use the one with protein during your workout, just figure out how it works on your stomach. For some people, they're sensitive to protein when they consume it during the workout, so just figure out what works best for you. And they all have the same amount of sodium and potassium, the electrolytes in them as well, both the versions with protein and without.
And what's the protein? Is it whey?
It's whey.
Yeah.
It is whey. If you're somebody that doesn't like whey, we have a plain version actually, which isn't featured up there. It's just the plain carbohydrate, no flavor, no electrolytes, no nothing. So a lot of folks will use the plain Ucan, and if they don't like our flavors, they'll use Noon or whatever electrolyte, sugar-free electrolyte powder you like.
Make them with Noon tablets. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And also the plain version, all of our morning athletes who exercise right when they wake up, they have 4 to 6 ounces of unsweetened almond milk, cinnamon, and a scoop or two of the Ucan, plain Ucan, depending on how long they're working out. And it's amazing. All people who just run 45 minutes in the morning, they have that. By the time they put their shoes and socks, they're out the door, and it's kicking in. It's only 4 ounces. It's like, it'll be the unsweetened almond milk along with a little bit of cinnamon takes a little bit of the starchiness that you can feel. We didn't add any flavor enhancers or smoothers to the product. There's a reason why, like, if you guys, anybody read the book Sugar, Salt, Fat?
I'm halfway through it now.
Right, so it's the whole idea that there's like a breaking point in carbohydrates that cause you to eat more. So if you make things have a certain texture, so this is the way a real carbohydrate tastes, because we haven't added any of the flavor enhancers, the smoothness aspect. And anybody who knows me, you have a bag of chips, you're ready for the second bag right when you're done, and that's because of all the texture that's going on there. So we kind of stayed away from that to keep it a little healthier. So that's why it's a little starchy.
Yeah, so yeah, as you guys are starting to sample some of it, I don't know which one you tried, but you will notice the texture is starchy. No getting past that, it is a starch. So what we do recommend is 8 to 12 ounces of cold water per packet. Give it a nice hard shake if you guys have any of these types of blender bottles with the wire whisk in them. Not mandatory at all, but if you sit at home trying to spoon stir it, it's going to end up being clumpy. So you want to put it in any type of bottle. You can shake it well. Like any powder, it's going to taste a heck of a lot better when it's cold.
And it says up to 16 ounces of water, but that's like the top end. Really 8 to 12 is great.
Yeah.
And as I said, people concentrate into gels. We have a few rowers that hate to consume any liquid, that they just make it into a paste and eat it with a spoon.
So the amount of water you use has no bearing on how the product works. So it's simply, we say 8 to 12 because that's feedback has told us that's how it tastes the best. But yeah, as you heard us referencing earlier, when people were making it into a paste and making their own Ucan gels, that's what a lot of folks will do during the run. So in terms of general usage, a packet, like we said, is equivalent to a scoop and a half from the tub. I know you found that out the hard way. I'm glad we talked, but packets used to equivalent to a scoop and a half. So a lot of people like to figure out what flavor they like and then just go to the tub, because if you like that steadiness of energy, like Seth said, even for 45-minute or hour run in the morning, then you certainly don't need to use the entire packet. This might be too much for you. A big benefit that I like of using the entire packet even before like an hour run is when you don't have that drop in blood sugar after the run and you're still feeling stable, you don't have those same ravenous cravings. So even if you're working out intensely for a shorter period of time, sometimes if you don't have time to eat right after, or if you know you have other tasks you have to get through in your day before you can sit down and relax or sit down and eat, you may want to just take this. You'll really find that you're not going to have those same hunger cravings post-workout. In terms of usage for stuff over 2 hours, we talked about this a little bit, but if a packet's good for roughly 90 minutes to 2 hours, then for anything over 2 hours, we recommend a packet about every 90 minutes. And what's important is when you're using Ucan for those longer workouts, it's not something that you want to be sipping on slowly like a hydration drink. The best effect of this product is when you get it all in your system over a relatively short period of time. So maybe say over the span, if you're going for a 20-mile run, over the span of a mile or so, about a 10-minute period of time. And the idea is that it all enters your system, it passes through the stomach very quickly, digests in your intestines, and then from your intestines it slowly releases into your bloodstream. So get it all in you. And then, and even when you're on the bike, you know, a lot of triathletes, they have their Ucan bottle and then their hydration bottle. So if you have, you know, you're going out for a 4 or 5 hour ride, and you have 2 packets of Ucan mixed in your bike bottle, you might have one at the 90-minute mark, you may have the second half of that bottle, you know, at the 3 hour mark, and just sip water in between. So that's really important. I would say 95% of the time when we get emails and folks say, you know, I used your product and it didn't work for me, I didn't feel the steady energy, we ask them, what did you do? And they say, oh, you know, I just nursed it and sipped on it slowly. And the other big thing is, like, you guys have had a little bit of a chance to see the texture. It's not something that you're going to drink, you know, slowly and say, ah, this is refreshing. You know, you want your smooth tasting liquid to feel that refreshing feeling. So simply for that reason too, it works better that way. These are roughly 120-ish calories per packet. The ones with protein are roughly 220 calories per packet. So the benefit of using, and Seth, you can speak to this too, the benefit of using the Ucan with protein is simply to keep that feeling of hunger away. In terms of the tangible benefit that you'll feel, I'm sure Seth can add something to the idea of you know, protein preventing muscle breakdown and all that. But in terms of what you'll actually feel, there's not really an energy difference between using the protein Ucan pre-workout versus the one without protein. It's simply just keeping that feeling of hunger at bay and stuff.
And, you know, the other things you combine with it, if you're going out for a longer, like a 4 hour ride, people use like almond butter packets. They might use a low sugar protein bar, you know, like a Zone bar or something like that. If you can handle actually chewing on something, people like salted peanuts or almonds. And Justin's makes a good like almond butter packet. And so, you know, that's just, you want to just choose things that are lower in sugar so they don't raise your blood sugar. And that's the whole point, so you can get the fullness that you need. Because if you're going out for a trail run or, you know, a long bike ride, you know, you're going to feel hungry probably just in general. So